So here is the Xbox as it's been delivered. So let's get this all unboxed and opened and see what we do actually have here. So first things first, we've got the 60 gig hard drive as we were expecting. Doesn't look like this has been opened or anything, so the hard drive should actually be in this case. A little bit dirty, but it should be alright. So that's that. Then we've got the disk drive. Got the whole board inside its metal housing, except there is no fans at the back there. But we'll see. And that is the top box done, so let's get into the bottom box. I actually found this inside the bottom box as well, so obviously this is a top cover. This should be part of the plastic housing, so we'll see about that. Put that to the side, and then let's get into this other box. Okay, so you can tell straight away this faceplate is busted completely. Doesn't even have this whole section, so this console is going to need a new faceplate regardless. But at least these two bits, the A and B memory card slots, are actually there, because if I ever need to, at least I've got the donor. And even this flap doesn't have the spring, but you never know. We'll get this out of the way, let's start getting it on the table again. Got top cover, or top like vented cover, or bottom, sorry. This has got the feet on it. This one has snapped, but that is quite common on when you're taking these things apart. That's the top one, sorry, because you can see the hard drive obviously. Doesn't look like those feet are snapped. One of them, to the light, look, the one snapped one there. As I've just pulled it out of the bag, this little metal piece, let's see if I can get that to focus. This little metal piece is falling out, so I'm going to have to find where that's come from. If anyone knows, do put a comment in case I don't figure it out. But sounds like there's some other stuff inside this Xbox here anyway, so let's have a look. I'm going to actually just move all of this out of the way. I'm quite interested in this because I can see more of a housing. So this is obviously no faceplate, but there is what looks like a whole nother 360. The listing did not say that. The listing said it was one console that they didn't know was working. So yeah, this person said this listing was for a console, for an Xbox 360 that wasn't working. But they didn't know, or they hadn't tested it. They weren't sure what was wrong. But it looks like they just had parts and didn't know what the parts were. And they have just wedged these two together. So give me a sec to get this off. Alright, there we go, that's pinged off. So, exactly as we could see in the sort of short for this, very dusty, very filled up with crap. Got the disc cover there. Got the little light panel for directing the LED lights, or the lights from this front board here. Got the eject button. Got the cable for the disk drive and stuff. It's actually two of these. Maybe I am forgetting something, but I think that just means that's probably from the other console. The other board that has actually come with this, so I've actually got a donor board out of this. Either way, because this board does actually have its fans too, which is quite good. So yeah, and that's the other tray. Yeah, there we go. We do actually have a screw, but this seems to be the only screw that has come with this entire board. Oh, tell a lie. Don't know if anyone else would have noticed this before I did, but there is one in here. So, first things first, I'm going to go get a power pack and see if this even turns on, see what's up with it. So what I'm actually going to do, because then I've got two consoles here, I'm going to set up both separately and just see if they work. This one obviously doesn't have a fan, so we'll have to swap the fan out, but we'll see. So I'm going to start off with the one that's almost all built, just got to put the disk tray and the hard drive and stuff in, check that one out, and then check this one out. So let's do that. And to press. Wow, so this console fully turns on. You can hear the fans going. Don't know if you can hear it, but they're definitely going. This tray definitely made a noise. Don't know if you can hear that. Hard drive maybe, but the green light's on. Try and get this so you can see it. Yeah, see, green light's on. So yeah, let's get this set up to a screen to see if it actually displays anything. So we're all set up. So what we're going to do now is try and switch this on. See if this screen should power through this USB, so we should see if that happens. Oh wow, so this console actually powers up. Let's see if it goes through the home screen. And yes, it did. And the hard drive's still got people's stuff on it, so obviously that'll be formatted. But this console fully works, so definitely just need to clean up. Probably need some new thermal paste on this heatsink and the CPU sort of side of things. Fans will definitely need to clean. There's a lot of dust in there, but we'll get that done. Get this one rebuilt, and then the other one I'm just going to keep as a donor board, or if I get an empty shell or anything like that, and we'll go with that. But I'm going to quickly see if it actually works. So let's get to checking that. Disconnect that, which is from that little point there where my thumb is there, and then that's that one. So we're going to check the second console. So this is a board that, and a motherboard that by the listing I had no idea was coming with it, so I'm quite shocked, but obviously it probably has been used as a donor board anyway, because we've only got the one hard drive, we've only got the one body, stuff like that. But this does still have the front plate, so still got that, and then we can give it a check, see if everything's all right. Yeah, let's get this fan installed, only briefly. Everything needs a good clean up, although this board does look a lot cleaner than the other one. Okay, so yeah, let's check this fan in, make sure those feet are going to line up, which they are. So I can see one already through. There we are. And it should just be able to sort of wedge it under, should I say. There we are. Might sound a bit loud, but that is really all it takes. Just a little bit of lifting up that metal cage part, and then it will go. So then just need to connect the fan connector on. So let's get that connected, and then got disk drive cables to connect. I'm going to use the cables from the one we just checked, just so that we know that they work. because that console fully powered up. Obviously I haven't actually checked the disc tray, but we will do that in this video. So you go on to the black and white ports. Luckily the cables are actually black and white, so that's all good. I'm also not going to bother putting this white housing back on where the fan is, because either way it will go back. This whole thing needs to be clean, so it will go back on at another point anyway. And then slot the disc tray where it's meant to sit, which is about there. Again, with this I might check the disc tray, so I'm going to connect the front plate that came with it, the eject button here. So let's get those on. So you've got, let's do this first. So it should come down and slot on quite simply like that. And then this should clip on to this front part here. So you can see, it would be, obviously once it's in, when you click that, it'll be pushing the button that's down at the bottom there. But let's not worry about that at the moment. Let's get the hard drive connected. So that's in this slot at the top. Get the HDMI connected, because these are both HDMI bodies. So obviously the originals didn't actually come with HDMI. But like I said, I'm not an expert on the boards and stuff, so I don't know which board type this is. I'm sure there's many people who do, so if anyone watches this and does know, please do put in the comments, because it's something I need to learn. And how to identify it would be massively help. So let's try pressing the on button. So it's turned on. Oh, and we got 3 red rings. So this one's not powered. I think that shows something with the power, so bear with. And that is still just the 3 red lights that are shining, so you can see them there. I'm going to find out what that is and then see if it's something fixable. But like I said, I don't see the need to fix this board, because this is really all this one comes with. It's this shell and board, and then the top metal cover that's obviously come from the plastic housing. So for me, this is more of like a donor, maybe rebuild, whatever. Yeah, so this one I'm just going to leave to the side now, and we're just going to go proceed with the one that we know already works and give that a clean up, get it fully back to working order. Right, so as you can see, this is the one with no apparent issue, and we've got it all on. But as you can definitely notice, there is tons of grime, tons of dirt, all sorts of dust. So we're going to give this a good clean up, give it to heatsink, get some new thermal paste on there, and then you can see the fans look absolutely disgusting, which is rank. So yeah, we're going to get rid of that. Probably leave this, but maybe check if it's dusty and stuff. Casing, give them all a good clean, and get it all back together, get it all working. So let's do that. This board should be able to come out, so we've just got to give it a bit of wiggle, I guess, because it's maybe never come out before. So you sort of want to go from the front, I guess, a way to describe, and then so you don't damage these as you put it out. But that's completely out, so now let's have a look at the underside. Yeah, and you can see they're the clamps, so they're holding the heatsink. So again, all looks okay. So now The board is, in my opinion, ready to be cleaned up. So first thing I'm going to do is clear these bits of thermal paste and then clean it all of the dust using the same tool I've used on most dust removals, this and a toothbrush, like an old kid's toothbrush, and they should help clean every bit that I need to get to. So let's get doing that. So I'm just going to clean the last little bits, put some contact cleaner in all of the slots, and then we'll be all done. And this one will be ready to go. Apply some thermal paste. And I think that's enough. So let's get these back on. So this one should go here. You can sort of tell from these white outlines. This one, check the orientation, but it should be like this. It says like that. Okay, so hold them in place, flip it over, and then we've got to get these X clamps back on. Let's try and, oh, that might help actually. That did help. So get the flathead in there like that and just twist it. Very slightly, but just twist it. And it sort of pries the actual gripping arm out. Something I never knew, but let's make sure that's fully on. They are all fully on. Yep. All fully holding, so that's great. So that's the heat sinks on. Now we'll just need to get this into the shell. Alright, they're all in. That's all firmly in place. As you can see, the board looks much cleaner, much nicer. Now we just need to clean the fan. So these are disgusting. Right, so although not perfect, these are a lot cleaner than they were. I've sprayed some contact cleaner inside just to hopefully give them a bit more freedom. So I think these are all right to go back into the case now. So got that here, and then you see these 2 feet, they go into these 2 holes, one there, one there. So get those in line, and then the rest just got to lift up the metal bit, and you'll see them clip in. So obviously if I remove this, you see that and that, and then make sure to reconnect this up. Now that's all ready to go. Okay, so this is all now set up, but I have discovered that this disk drive is not the original disk drive from this console, so it doesn't work. Obviously the other one has a red ring, so I'm not going to bother doing anything about that. But I may look at trying to use this one maybe to see if I can mod. So if anyone knows anything about modding an Xbox 360 that can help me out, let me know anything. I'd really appreciate that. Has been someone commenting on a couple of the shorts who has offered their support, so I'll be reaching out to them as well. Mystery, I think, is basically the at. But yeah, thank you all for watching, and hopefully see you on the next one.